It is 2 minutes past 9 on the 19th of April, the year 2024. A sad day for the nation of Kenya and for the defense forces of the Republic of Kenya. Our reporters have been busy working on those stories and much more. Here are the top stories. Kenya begins 3-day mourning period to honor 10 soldiers who died in a chopper crash. Messages of condolence continue to pour in from Kenyans and leaders across the globe to the families of the deceased. Kenyatta University launches a USAID Hero Vehicle project seeking to enhance health outcomes in the country. And Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi calls on leaders to recognize capabilities of every individual regardless of gender. This is Kutv Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. And I'm working closely with Daisy Mwangi tonight. Let's get to the bulletin. Now, Kenya started its 3-day mourning period on Friday with flags flying half-mast in honor of the 10 military personnel who died in a helicopter crash Thursday night at Sindar area in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Among the deceased is KDF Boss General Francis Ogola, who has been described as a gallant officer who died in the line of duty.
I am deeply saddened to announce the passing on of General Francis Omondi Ogola, the Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. The nation will observe a period of 3 days of mourning commencing tomorrow, the 19th of April 2024. During this time of national mourning, the Kenya flag, the Kenya Defense Forces flag, the East African Community flag, and flags of all formations of the military shall fly at half-mast in the Republic of Kenya and in Kenya missions abroad.
Following this announcement by President William Ruto, the national East African and military formation flags will continue to fly at half-mast for the next 3 days across the country and diplomatic missions abroad in honor of KDF Boss General Francis Ogola and the 9 gallant soldiers who died in a chopper crash last night. Military personnel led by General Ogola left Nairobi for the North Rift under the Operation Maliza Uhalifu campaign on Thursday, April 18th, to visit soldiers deployed in the volatile area, as well as inspect the progress of the renovation of 5 schools in Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties before their chopper crashed at around 2:20 p.m., leaving 10 of them dead and 2 others injured. Ogola's family has announced that KDF Boss General Francis Ogola will be laid to rest on Sunday at his home in Gia, Alego, Usonga, Siaya County. Ogola, who has left behind a widow, 2 children and 1 grandchild, in his will requested to be buried in less than 72 hours after his passing on, while Brigadier Swale Said has been laid to rest today in Utange, Mombasa County.
I'm seeing very many sad faces, but General would just be wondering what people are so sad about, especially since he has prepared us for this day for a very long time. And you guys look a bit happier. Nyinyi msivurute sura sana. Na yeye even in death anashanga hii watu, what is the issue? It's going to be well for all of us.
Kenyans have since joined hands in sending messages of peace and condolence to the bereaved families while recognizing the resilience and effort the fallen soldiers put in on behalf of Kenya. Theo Masharia for KUTV News.
In mourning the death of CDF Francis Ogola, the Orange Democratic Movement has called on the government to conduct thorough, professional and transparent investigations into what led to the crash, stating that this was the only way to ensure peace for the family and the entire nation. This comes as the Azimio la Umoja coalition leader Raila Odinga visited the family of the late CDF Francis Ogola today, accompanied by some of his co-principals, Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka. Kenyans and leaders across the world continue to pour in their messages of condolence following the horrific death of Chief of Defense Forces General Francis Omondi Ogola and 9 others. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta eulogized Ogola, describing him as an accomplished military leader who dedicated his life in serving the nation. Listen in.
As the nation comes to terms with the sudden demise of top military officials who died in the line of duty following a horrific helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 10 military officials, including the Chief of Defense Forces General Francis Ogola at Kaben in Elgeyo Marakwet, tribute continued to stream in honor of the fallen boss. His death comes barely a year after he took over the mantle from retired Chief of Defense Forces General Robert Kibochi.
I am deeply saddened to announce the passing on of General Francis Omondi Ogola, the Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. Together with him in the crash were 11 other gallant military personnel, 9 who also passed on with him, and 2 survivors.
Former President Uhuru Kenyatta described him as an accomplished military leader, a devoted patriot who dedicated his life to serving and protecting our beloved country. On her part, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan mourned Ogola and 9 other fallen soldiers. In her message, Suluhu sent her condolences to President William Ruto, all Kenyans, family, relatives, and friends of all those who lost their loved one in the accident. ODM party leader Raila Odinga termed General Ogola as a true patriot, a highly decorated soldier, and a consummate profession who served his country with unwavering dedication. Our heart goes out to his family, his colleagues in the KDF, and the entire nation as we grieve this immense loss.
Do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya and to the President as the Commander-in-Chief.
General Francis Omondi Ogola joined the Kenya Air Force on April 24, 1984 and was commissioned as a second lieutenant on May 6, 1985. He is a graduate of École Militaire de Paris and the National Defense College of Kenya. Ogola rose to the ranks from the Major General and was later appointed Commander Kenya Air Force on July 15, 2018 before succeeding retired General Robert Kibochi in April 2023. Ogola is survived by his wife Edlin, 2 children and 1 grandchild. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, following the announcement of the deaths of 10 soldiers in yesterday's plane crash, various families have received the news of their loved ones with grief and mixed emotions. Some of these families include the family of Senior Sergeant John Kenyo Mureithi and the family of Sergeant Rose Nyawira.
Two families in Kirimunge village, Kirinyaga County and Kagio town continue to mourn the loss of their loved one following yesterday's plane crash in Elgeyo Marakwet region. The incident, which occurred at 2:20 p.m. yesterday at Sidar area, claimed the lives of 10 people, including Major General Francis Omondi Ogola, the Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, along with Senior Sergeant John Kinyua Murithi and Sergeant Rose Nyawira. In Kirimunge village, family and friends of the late Senior Sergeant John Kinyua Murithi now gather to mourn his sudden demise. The family narrates how they received the news of the accident, the uncertainty that followed, and the eventual confirmation of his death by the president last night.
Sasa nikashindwa kunaendelea aje, nikawauliza kwani kunaendelea aje, hawakuniambia. So what I did, nikaamka kaenda, sikuenda immediately, nilienda kwanza kwa tabanako nikaomba, lakini niliangalia, niligugu kidogo, nikaona Twitter, nikaona breaking news, nikaona ndege, lakini zile images nilikuwa naona bado, ikabidi nimeenda nikamuombea, then I proceeded, nikaenda kwa my sister.
His father, Josephat Murithi, expressed concerns about not being informed of his son's death earlier and expressed the anxiety they had when they heard about the plane crash.
207 ndio aliingia kwa majeshi, alipata hiyo barua ya defense, na hiyo barua aliingia, ilifanya kazi kwa nguvu yake yote, kwa kuona analinda serikali na anaongoza hiyo kazi, anaendelea mzuri. Alikuwa aeroplane technician.
Kinyua's wife Grace Wamboyo expressed similar sentiments as she recalled how she received the news of her husband's death.
Hizo habari nilizipata kutoka kwa Gogo, kwa habari za hivi punde. Nikaona kuwa kuna ndege ya askari jeshi ambayo imeanguka huko Elgeyo Marakwet.
At the same time, in Kagio town, relatives of Sergeant Rose Nyawira are also mourning her loss.
Kijana wangu alipigwa simu, ni one of KDF officers, akamwambia kumepatikana kitu kama hii, na akamwambia they are working on that. Kwa hivyo kama saa 11 hivi ndio nilipata habari.
The other officers who lost their lives include Brigadier Swale Saidi, Colonel Duncan Keitani, Lieutenant Colonel David Sawe, Major General Benson Magondu, who was also the pilot.
And on behalf of the newsroom here at KUTV, the entire KUTV fraternity, and the entire Kenyatta University fraternity, we send our messages of condolences to the families and friends of the deceased, and we wish peace upon them, and also a message of rest in peace to the deceased gallant soldiers. Now, moving on, Kenyatta University has launched the USAID Health Equity and Resource Optimization, acronymed HERO, vehicle project. The project, funded by USAID, seeks to enhance health outcomes through improving domestic resource mobilization. Acting Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi, during the launch, noted that the project will help achieve the universal health coverage goals.
The United States Agency for International Development Health Equity and Resource Optimization Project, USAID HERO project, in partnership with Kenyatta University, has today launched the 4 vehicles for the USAID HERO project at Kenyatta University.
I'm very delighted to welcome you to Kenyatta University and to this particular commissioning ceremony where we'll be commissioning the USAID HERO project vehicles.
Acting Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi, while launching the USAID HERO vehicle project, has noted that the project will strengthen Kenya's health system as the project seeks to enhance health outcomes through improving domestic resource mobilization and resource efficiency for sustainable finance.
This particular project is really about health, and resource efficiency. And so there is a lot that this project is going to impact in terms of health and universal health coverage. And the fact that they are actually doing it in the 10 counties that have very limited access to health care, I think the impact is going to even be much more.
The occasion actually marks a significant milestone in our ongoing commitments to advancing healthcare, accessibility, and equity within our communities.
We hope to improve the health outcomes in Kenya through main strategies. That is increasing domestic resource mobilization. We know health has been fully devolved to the counties, but we want counties to put more money than they are doing right now.
According to Peter Milo, chief of party, USAID Hero Project, the vulnerable and marginalized people will be able to access affordable health services in the country.
Improving health outcome through social protection systems, and this means that for the poor and vulnerable and the indigents, they're able to be linked to social protection schemes that allow them to have access to quality health care. And then
USAID Hero Project is now operating in Nairobi, Coast and North Rift regions, whereby it is available in 10 counties from these regions, as it aims to advance a strong, well-functioning and responsive health system through training county health management teams. Dorothy Musyoka, KUTV.
It is 18 minutes past the top of the hour. We take a very short break. When we come back, we have stories ahead, including a story about lithium in Zimbabwe. See you in a bit.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Alright, welcome back. Daisy Mwangi and I are here to continue, so are you, and let's get moving. Now, Machakos County Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi Kilonzo has called on leaders to recognize the capabilities of every individual regardless of gender and create a safe environment where they can suitably showcase their full potential to serve humanity. Speaking at Machakos University while attending the university's Vice Chancellor's Breakfast Forum led by Professor Joyce Agalo, I beg your pardon, Mwangangi noted that there is a need for women empowerment by all leaders.
These great leaders, a girl child, what many always fun? The only thing is what we are achieving, what we are attaining here.
Let's move away from our country to the southern parts of the continent. Zimbabwe, with its rich deposits of lithium, is pinning its hopes for economic recovery on mining and processing the mineral, which is a key component in batteries for electric vehicles. Zimbabwe has Africa's largest lithium reserves and is the world's 6th largest lithium producer and supplier. Columbus Mavunga reports from Kutv, about 700 kilometers from the capital Harare, where investors have poured millions of dollars into their lithium venture.
This former tin mine that closed about 30 years ago due to declining prices has now reopened as Kutv Mining Company and is processing lithium. Boy Joseph Dingane, a traditional leader from this poor area, says the reopening of the mine has changed the area's fortunes.
Children are going to school. Children now are not dragging themselves. They are going for work. So it has changed the community completely.
The Kutv Mining Company says it employs about 1,300 people and has exported 50,000 tons of processed lithium since it was launched about a year ago. Zimbabwean and international investors spent $100 million to make the site a working lithium mine. Meng Yang is one of the investors.
Kutv Mining Company has contributed significantly to the Zimbabwean fiscus, exceeding $8 million in taxes. With the completion of Phase 2 imminent, we expect this project to create more employment opportunities and increase our tax contributions towards the development of Zimbabwe.
The cost for Phase 2 of the mining's development is $150 million. President Emerson Mnangagwa hopes Zimbabwe will benefit from rising demand. Mnangagwa says his government will continue to enforce a ban on exporting raw lithium so that the country raises more revenue through the sale of processed lithium.
We shall value add our resource for our economy and unlocking maximum benefits from our country's abundant mineral resource. Government will therefore continue to support the drive by Kutv Mining Company towards the processing of lithium ores into concentrates.
But Farai Magu, director of Center for Natural Resource Governance, an organization working on improved governance of natural resources in Zimbabwe, says the export ban is not being strongly enforced. He says his organization has witnessed tons and tons of raw lithium leaving the country.
The companies that are exporting lithium from Zimbabwe, at first, they were exporting lithium in open trucks. But because of the criminality around the lithium trade, now it seems they are under instruction that they must either cover it in tents or they must put it in containers. We should have seen increased liquidity in our economy if we were charging correctly. So most probably, the lithium that is leaving Zimbabwe, I think less than 50% is being declared. The rest is leaving the country illicitly.
Zimbabwe's Minister of Mines, Soda Jemu, has denied those claims, asking for proof of the allegations. Jemu said exports of processed lithium will increase in the coming years, and he believes mining will become $12 billion industry for Zimbabwe. Columbus Mavunga, VOA News, Kutv, Zimbabwe.
A beautiful story from Columbus Mavunga. Now we move to west of Africa, where Pelumi Nubi has become the first Nigerian woman to take a road trip from London to Lagos, all while driving her small Peugeot. To promote a safe and borderless Africa, Lucy Ha of Reuters has more.
This is the moment Pelumi Nubi arrived in the Nigerian city of Lagos. Back in January, she embarked on a journey that would establish her as the first black woman to complete a solo road trip from London to Lagos.
So it's just important for me to do this and to inspire all the black women, all the travelers, that they can step out of their comfort zone too.
We are in France, guys. We made it.
The travel content creator drove her small Peugeot across 17 countries.
Raising awareness about travel within the black community. Yeah, in this car.
Nubi says she wanted to promote a safe and borderless Africa and challenge common misconceptions about the continent. But her journey was not without obstacles. She says she faced some challenges at border crossings, including a 2-day wait to enter Liberia. She argues that a more accessible Africa, similar to Europe's open borders, would encourage intercontinental trade and tourism.
When I was driving to Europe, going from the UK to France and Spain, it felt like I was just going through one big country, and I feel like that can also be the case of Africa.
29 minutes past the top of the hour, we take another short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We'll come back with sports news.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
A loving husband and father.
Nothing is too good for my daughter.
An ambitious businessman with a dark secret. A girl with a whole life in front of her, plunging into a marriage that she did not choose with the wrong man.
I'm not ready to marry Zero.
But who is the right one? Enough Nambi. A rock star, living the dream.
But the babes keep chasing me, I guess.
It ain't easy being famous, especially with so many glamorous women around. A woman hell-bent on revenge.
You will pay.
Seductive, dangerous. She is a predator. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. They will do anything to get it. Love and wealth.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
All right, welcome back. Let's get sporty. Enterprise Cup champions will be back in action this weekend, with the defending champions Cabras set to open their 2024 campaign against Mamba RFC at the Kakamega Showgrounds. The 2023 runners-up KCB will be seeking redemption after Kenya Cup failure when they host Varsity Lads Catholic Monks in the round of 16 of the 2024 Enterprise Cup tournament at the KCB Sports Club, Ruaraka. And the quarterfinals, I beg your pardon, of the Enterprise will be played on Friday 27th and Saturday 28th of April, while the semi-finals and finals will be held on the 4th and the 25th of May, respectively. It is 9:34 p.m., a time for us to bring this conversation and the news bulletin to a close. And let us continue to pray for the families and friends of the deceased soldiers who perished just yesterday, that God may give them peace even in this time and take them through this very hard period. We've come to the close of the conversation, so we're going to be seeing you some other time, which means tomorrow at 6:30 the newsroom will be coming back with Mrs. Bikendi, and at 9 p.m. Weekend Live will be here with you to make sure you're thoroughly informed on what's happening in the country and beyond our borders. So it's a Friday, make sure you get some rest and have a peaceful weekend. Our sign language interpreter is Daisy Mwangi. Mine is Mutegi K. Martin. Good night.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya